Iran has said it is no longer bound by any restrictions to its nuclear program. The JCPOA, or Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the deal made exactly 10 years ago between the Western powers and Iran, that deal has officially fully expired. Iran's administration has made it clear its commitment to diplomacy. They're not using aggressive, promising violence. They're not using aggressive, violent rhetoric. But also, they released this statement from their Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From now on, quote, all of the provisions of the 2015 deal, the JCPOA, including the restrictions on the Iranian nuclear program and the related mechanisms, are considered terminated, end quote. That's the news. Now here is the analysis. Iran is in a very unique geopolitical situation. It's a nation that has chose after 1979, the Islamic Revolution. After that, they chose independence and autonomy and the consequences that come with that, rather than comfortable, lavish even, subservience and the reward that would come with that alternative option. If you want to see a country that has, roughly speaking, every country's situation is different, but roughly speaking, if you want to see a country that chose the other way, the way that Iran did not choose, chosen the other available path that was available to Iran, look to another regional power in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, rich in oil like Iran, Muslim population like Iran. And when faced with the choice that Iran was faced with, Saudi chose to fall in line, fall under the American umbrella, as it were. Saudi is now rich, extremely rich, and relatively well developed. They now have billions to spend on their people and their cities, and of course on mega projects like Neom and The Line and Jeddah Tower, another one, I think King Abdullah's or King Faisal's gate, one of the king's gates is being made now. Big deal, we'll talk about it. But when it came to Palestine, when it came to foreign relations, right, foreign policy, Saudi, there is no war in Ba Sing Se. Palestinian keffiyehs, the scarves with the black and white design, for a time were not recommended to be worn. Advisories were given to Umrah and Hajj providers to relay to their groups, the people, the Muslims who go on Umrah to Saudi Arabia, who go on pilgrimage. They were given advice not to display any signs supporting Palestine. This is quite well corroborated from a variety of sources now. Many reports even suggest, militarily speaking, that Saudi airspace was used for Israeli fighter jets heading to other targets, or American air defenses were used from Saudi soil to intercept missiles heading to Israel from Houthi Yemen, Iran. Now that first one, that Israeli jets were allowed, I'm not saying they were allowed, I'm saying evidence suggests that air defense capabilities of Saudi were stood down, or they looked the other way. We can't see. Okay, go, we can't see. That's what you get, right? That's what you get. You get to be wealthy, but you lose significantly control over your own foreign policy, deferring to some extent to the US position, which is what Saudi does. I'm not hating on Saudi. I'm helping you guys understand the give and take in geopolitics. You get some, you lose some. That's just how it is. What you want to get and what you're willing to sacrifice, it depends from person to person. It depends from administration to administration. Now, Iran chose the opposite, and that is very evident. They have been struck by Israel, and they were the only internationally recognized state to seriously strike back. They got slapped. They backhanded so hard. Israel was like, oh, I forgot that I initiated this. Can we have a ceasefire, please? Their rhetoric, the Iranian rhetoric, is clear, and millions have marched through the streets of Iran's cities, waving Iranian and Palestinian flags side by side. No hush hush, no, keep it on the DL. No, don't start a fitna. Don't cause a fitna. Fitna means, don't start a chaos or a disorder in the land, or a temptation towards chaos or disorder, right? Foreign policy is very much in Iran's control, but I'm not pro-Iranian. I'm not a pro-Iranian shill or whatever you want to label me. No, I'm giving you the analysis. They have that freedom, but it came at the cost of their wealth. They paid with their pocket. Their oil extraction infrastructure is largely undeveloped. Their economy is small compared to their potential. And trade and tech transfers into the Iranian economy, into the Iranian state, are extremely limited with sanctions in place that mean that outside countries don't want to invest, don't want to tech transfer, don't want to start any relationship with Iranian businesses or the Iranian state, because sanctions will smack them so hard it will just chuck them out of business into bankruptcy. So better to just leave Iran alone. That's how bullies work. If a bully gives an announcement on the playground, anyone who talks to this guy, if I see you talking to this guy, you're going to be beat the hell out of. Everyone just leaves the guy alone. Some might even sympathize. Well, we feel for you, bro, but I can't talk to you because, Big Daddy is going to come and, I can't afford that. I'm not like you. I don't have that independence mechanism, the resilience mindset that you have. So, guy's isolated, man's isolated, or boy's isolated if we're talking about playground. Now, going back to the main topic, Iran has basically said now, we have no more rules on our nuclear program because the deals we all agreed to together 10 years ago, you broke. And then you reimposed sanctions unilaterally. Look it up, 2018. The JCPOA, America just stepped away. Iran was keeping to the terms. But they were like, actually, I've decided it's a bad deal. Under this new administration, I decided it's a bad deal, so khalas, I'm out. They didn't say khalas, but you get the point. Now, Iran didn't break them. But Western media, of course, will demonize Iran for it. It's Iran's fault. Iran's the dangerous nation, right? Furthermore, have you heard in Western media the outcry for Israel having nukes? I'm just going through a analytical assessment of, the dynamics. I'm trying to teach you here. Because Israel has nukes, right? This is well known. They don't openly say we have nukes because of strategic ambiguity, but their Western allies completely assume that they have nukes under the Sarmat project. Israel has never signed the NPT, the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, which means we won't acquire nukes, we won't spread nuclear technology. They're like, Banda, we can't sign. We've got nukes. Where's the outcry for Israel? Huh? Where's the outcry? I don't see it. I don't see no outcry. Whereas, forget having nukes. Just the possibility that Iran may develop nukes one day. This is what legacy Western media is talking about. This is what they're always on about. As if Iran cannot be trusted with nukes. That dangerous Muslim country, not on our leash, not allied to us, they can't have nukes. Are you crazy? But of course Israel can have nukes. No problem. Israel can have nukes. They can be trusted, right? Israel can be trusted with nukes. Have you seen what they've done these last 2 years? Citizens in the Western allied countries to Israel are freaking out. They're like, wait, those guys who don't allow Gazans to fish but won't allow food in, who won't allow baby formula in, really? Those guys who we've seen drone footage of them sniping kids? Why do they have nukes? They can be trusted, I guess. Okay. And the only country in the history of mankind to have ever used a nuke on civilian targets in a single strike, wiping out potentially hundreds of thousands of people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. They did it twice, bruv. They're like, what? One time? Let's go again. Let's double dip, right? They can be trusted with nukes. I'm talking about the US there. They can be trusted with nukes. But Iran can't be. Now, Iran currently doesn't have a declared nuclear weapons program. It should be stated. They say their program is for civilian use only. Analytically speaking, though, they are very much, it has to be said, capable of making a nuke should they wish to. They could implement a fatwa, a religious ruling that says, actually, no, we need nukes now for deterrence capabilities. And bang, they can just develop nukes. It's not like they only restrict themselves, right? The question is whether they wish to develop those nukes. They have the capability to, but do they have the desire? Will they press that button that lets them achieve development of nuclear weapons? And if they have pressed that button, that yes, okay, let's develop nukes, or they have already, we don't know about it, right? Maybe they have already pressed that button and they've developed nukes, or they're well on their way, who knows? Will they reveal that ability publicly though? Because like with all geopolitical decisions, if Iran announces that they have nukes, that announcement may be used against them. Israel may use it as a perfect excuse to attack again. And it may have the support of Western powers in attacking Iran in that scenario. So Iran needs to steer clear of conflict for as long as it can, so it can develop its economy, so it can focus on tech transfers that are sort of slowly coming in from China now as Western influence is diminishing and global South influence is rising. So even if Iran did get nukes, there is a possibility they would not declare that they have those nukes that they've acquired until that declaration serves a beneficial geopolitical purpose to the Iranian state. Time will tell how things turn out. And a final point I want to add. I talked about trusting countries with nukes. Trusting a country. This I just want you guys to focus in on, zoom in on, and when you read the news, when you consume the news, because I'm not saying don't look at news. Look at news, but understand that it's being filtered, it's being spun up, and then it's going to hit you, and then you're going to start spinning, right? That's why I'm here without the Western spin, because everyone be spinning, right? Can't be spinning like a Beyblade all day, right? I just want you guys to hone in on this and keep your mind sort of attuned to be able to pick up the BS, like a dog's nose that can smell better than our noses, right? It's not about trusting any country with anything. That's just a geopolitical tool. Can we trust that country is just a way of imposing your country's abilities on another country. The truth is no one can be trusted with anything, right? And the countries that have the capabilities in any facet, but let's talk about nuclear because that's what we talked about in this video. The countries that have the capabilities, it's not about trusting them. It's you have to deal with them having it. North Korea, do you think North Korea can be trusted by America to have nukes? Of course not. But do you hear about, the American president day in, day out saying we need to take nukes away from North Korea? Of course not. Because they've got nukes now. We can't do anything about them. It's not about whether we trust them or not. They have them. I don't have the capability to reach in to North Korea and take them. That's what America's saying. I don't have the capability to take them. But I have the capability to stop other countries that are my adversaries or that are not under my sphere of influence, like Iran. I've got the capability to try and stop them. And I can use rhetoric to engineer consent amongst my citizens that, yeah, we need to stop them. Can they be trusted? Look how violent they are. Look at their militias. Look at all the stuff they're doing. Look at their rhetoric when they talk about Israel. All kinds, I'll just say everything that I need to engineer consent for the action that I am taking at a state level, which is the action I am taking is Iran can't have nukes, and I will try fight tooth and nail to stop them from having nukes. If Pakistan didn't have nukes today, they would absolutely be demonized analytically based on the evidence, based on what's going on, based on what's already happened, based on the behavior of these Western nations, based on the behavior of Eastern nations, everything, a comprehensive assessment of it. As limited as mine is, I'm not an academic after all. The average, slightly above average Abdullah, let's say. My assessment is, of course, Pakistan would be demonized into the ground. How can Pakistan have nukes? A Muslim country having nukes? Are you crazy? That's like a bad joke. That's how they would frame it. You can't trust Pakistan with nukes. Have you heard Pakistanis talking about Indians? They're ready to fight for their country, bro. We can't strap a nuke to that. But Pakistan has nukes now. Now you can't do anything about it. So you see, as soon as you declare that you have nukes, something happens. There's a shake-up, right? Actions might be taken. But once it dies down, you just have nukes now. That country just has nukes. What are we going to do? Well, you think the US wouldn't be happy with China or Russia being, relieved of their nuclear weaponry? They would love that. But how? Russia will be like, come take it. Come try. China will be like, oh, you can try your best. You come, I'll give you offer. 2 attempts for 1. Come try to take our nukes. You can't take the nukes away from them. If you could, if there was scope for it, then you'd hear rhetoric about how China can't be trusted with nukes. Look at what Mao Zedong or whoever did that in whatever time period. Look, they can't be trusted. China, you can't trust China. They send us knockoff this and that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm rambling now. Time will tell how things turn out, and I'll be here to report to you the news and the analysis, unbiased and without the Western spin. How are these videos getting longer? I'm just enjoying myself too much, guys. I hope you don't mind. I'll try and make Shorter videos for those who value it, and longer videos I'll post on the Red platform. I can't say the name, by the way, because it limits the reach of this video. So help me increase the reach. Heart the video, bookmark the video, share the video, subscribe, all the stuff. Please help a brother out. I'll see you on the next one.